Hello, YouTube friends. Ben Ochart here. Thank you for tuning in. And this is a special date and time to make up for Saturday, which I'm not going to be available because I'm going to be out of town and looking for a fish room that happens to have a house attached to it in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, for those of you that are wondering. And let's see here. We have some folks already here. And you folks should be share this link. Let everyone know there's a special live stream going on. And hey, Richard Maloney. Hey, Richard. It looks like you were first. So if you can send me your mailing address to ben.o.cichlid@gmail, I'm going to get you some channel stickers. And let me see. You already have stickers? Just want to be first to say hello. Okay. You already have stickers. I got it. Well, send me your address. I probably have it, but if I don't, if you have Mabuna and you want a cave, send me your address. I'm going to send you a Mabuna cave. How does that sound? And in your email, tell me what size are those Mabuna. Okay? And I'll get you a little Mabuna cave there they can hang out in if it's something you like. And let's see, Mr. Reds. Hey, Mr. Reds, if you don't want stickers, why be first? All right. You got to get here early. Oh, my God. Hey, Post-Seaweed. Tom. Hey, Tom, over in Malibu, I hope that you do not get any fires this year. I hear we have over 350 fires going on in California right now. It is a bad scene, and Malibu was hit pretty hard a few years ago, and it's so beautiful out there. This girl and her fish, hello. Alex, hello, Alex, how are you? Ben's voice are my highlight. Thank you, Alex. You folks are too kind. This girl and her fish. Hello, this girl and her fish. And let's go ahead and... E.A. Jameis? E.A. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. E.A. Jameis. I'm off work tomorrow, so I'll set up my hospital tank into a nursery tank and hopefully have some gorgeous little fry swimming around. Oh, nice. Nice. Let us know what kind of fish. What kind of fish you're going to be having some fry. That's always exciting. And that's one of those things that I hope to get into when I have more space, because one of the things, I love the theme of today's live stream. What I love about African cichlids is the way that they breed, and everything from the little dance, from the pit that they dig, right, to the laying of the eggs, the little dance that they do, the mouth brooding, the little guys looking out from the mouth, and finally escaping and sometimes going back in. It's just as far as fish go, it's one of the most fascinating, spawning sort of cycles there is. And anyway, something I hope to do at some point. So, Richard Maloney, I'm a bad human for. Richard, you're a good human. All right, so you guys had some conversations going. Hey, Charles Sloop, hello. Hello, T-Bone. Hey, buddy. And see who else is here. Daryl Dimer is here, and I'm going to have to get off of this, the comments, or else I'm never going to get into the content. But I see a couple super chats have jumped in. Thank you, Charles. Charles Sloop, thank you for that. Very appreciated. And Stephen Mayer, thank you, Stephen. Support of the channel is very appreciated. And you folks, of course, will be in on the Super Chatters drawing, which will be the free giveaway. Will be the giveaway first for Super Chatters on maybe I'll do it second, for the algae scrubber and the pump, the Expertmatic air pump and the algae scrubber. And then everybody who's at the live stream on the 29th will be, will be there to be able to get the other gifts. And I'm going to go over some of those in a second here. And hey, Aquaballs. Good to see you, buddy. And who else we have? Greg. Hello, Greg. And good day, mate from Australia. Oh, Greg, are you a mortician? Is that what you're alluding to there? And L Flowers, did I make it? Yes, you did, L Flowers. I'm glad you're here. And I'm going to get back to the chat in a little bit. Let me just go ahead and take a look at let's take a look at the content and get into the content. And let's make this let's make it official. If you're new, and I know, is anybody here new that's on that? For those of you watching this in the replay, if you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell so you always get notified when new content is going to post. And it tells me that you like what's going on, and that kind of fires me up. And so be sure to do that. Just go ahead and do it right now. Just don't waste any time. And if you want to support the channel, we have a lot of good ways to do that. You can go to Amazon using my link. Anything you buy at Amazon will give a credit to the channel. And you can go to Teespring, pick up some gear, some coffee mugs, and you can see there's GP wearing one of these hoodies, one of the channel hoodies. For those of you who have never seen GP's face, now we have a face with the name Gurvinder Parmar. GP, one of the moderators, who will be here very, very shortly. And if he's not here already. Hey, Mike. Yes, everything is well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. And that's the end of the commercials. And we did have one milestone. We had a couple milestones. If you missed last Saturday, the channel went over 5 million views, which is blows me away. It's like unimaginable, but 5 million views. And we just went over 28,000 total subscribers. So you folks, you rock. You rock. That's all there is to it. That's all I can say. Keep watching, keep sharing, keep telling your fish buddies about it, and we'll just keep growing. And eventually I'll catch up to Joey, the king of DIY. Probably not, but... All right, so what's been going on? I had a couple videos. I released a couple videos, and one of them was had to do with using QT, quarantine tanks, and the many different ways it can save you money. I hope you folks enjoyed that video, and I hope it made sense. I mean, if you're going to treat a fish in a 5 or a 10-gallon QT tank, it's going to save you a tremendous amount of money on medications, which can be very expensive. Some medications are crazy expensive, and try treating a 150-gallon tank, and you'll find yourself up to about $50 to $100 in medication real quick. And so definitely a quarantine tank can save you a tremendous amount of money, not contaminating your show tank with a brand new arrival, whether it was shipped to you or whether you bought it at a local fish store. Let that fish chill in a quarantine tank for a month, and keep an eye on him. Watch how he's eating. If anything, use the quarantine tank to do the food transition. I'll tell you what I mean by that. When you buy a fish, very often that fish was being fed something that is perhaps different from what you have at home. Maybe you feed pellets, but the shop you bought the fish from feeds flakes. And so that fish is going to ignore those pellets, or maybe approach them but not take one in, or spit them out. So maybe you're going to have to mix some flakes in with your pellets and get that fish acclimated to the kind of foods that you want to offer. And then when that food starts to eat, when that fish starts to eat very hard, very hardy and voracious, and attacks the food, and you start to wean off the flakes and go straight to pellets. And so you've got them onto the diet that you feed your fish on a normal basis. That would be when you put them into the main tank. And of course, after for a month, it takes me a month. So in that video, I talked about several ways. There were a few more. You can watch the video if you haven't already, and He got a pretty good response. Some people even mentioned in the comments that they were going to be setting up a quarantine tank, and that's a good thing. So I think that was a good impact on the fish keeping community. The old fish, new fish, just sort of a review of what was going on with the fish. Of course, the Fusco is not in this tank. He was moved to the 100, where he's taking a break. You'll see a short video of him in a minute, and he is much larger than the other fish. And now that he's getting his confidence back after being bullied a bit in this tank, now that he's getting a bit of his swagger back, he's going after some of the, not aggressively, just sort of like, hey, just it, kind of making him flinch. And so he's getting a little bit of his, his nimbochromis swagger back, which I like. His fins look good. His sides don't have the marks where he might have been hit by the trout, that big beast, the trout. And so he's looking pretty good. He's recovering very, very well. So that's what's been going on. And what's coming up, I have a few things coming up. I have a what's in the box video, which really talks about those caves. I do an actual live demonstration of using the cichlid caves from underwater galleries. They sent me a big box of these things, and I really like them. And I'm going to be giving some of those away. And I also received something very, very awesome. Do you folks know Jay Wilson? He has a YouTube channel. I used to watch Jay Wilson way back in the day. He is probably most responsible for introducing me to SunSun canisters. He had a video that he put out on some difficulties he was having with a Fluval, and he wasn't getting a response from Fluval on the problem he was having, and so he went into a little bit of a rant and talked about how maybe he should have gotten a SunSun. So this made me look into SunSun canisters, and the rest is sort of history. I have a Fluval FX6, which despite some issues I've had with it, I love it. But I also have 4 SunSun canisters, 2 704Bs and 2 302Bs that have been very, very good. But at any rate, Jay Wilson, check out his channel on YouTube. You can also follow him on Instagram. But he now works for a company called CC, or CC. I'm not sure of the exact pronunciation. It is a very high quality manufacturer in Italy of aquarium equipment. And what he did was he had heard that I wanted to upgrade the pump on the sump from 1,900 gallons per hour to 2,500 gallons per hour. And what he did is he sent me this beast. This is it's called a CC 9. Let's see here, CC 9.5 or 9.0 Synchra Advance. Five-year warranty. Can work inside a sump, or it can work dry outside of the sump. And I believe there's even an app or something you can do to it, so you can control it from your phone, so you can increase or reduce the flow. And comes with some pretty nice little stickers, real heavy plastic stickers. At any rate, I'm going to be putting out a video on doing the conversion over to the 2500. It comes with all these adapters, so depending on the hosing situation, your plumbing, you can use the right adapter. And so I was a bit blown away by Jay Wilson sending that to me, and that'll definitely be a product that I take with me to Tennessee. I'm not going to be giving that away or selling it, and call me selfish. And it's just a very, very nice pump. CC is known for being very quiet. And so very early on, when I first set up my sump, I was because this tank is in my bedroom, as some of you know. I wanted this tank to be very quiet, and so I wanted to get the quietest pump I could. And when I reached out to Bulk Reef Supply and Aquarium Depot, some of these salty web pages, right? Bulk Reef Supply and Aquarium Depot. If you ever want to look at some high tech stuff, go to those websites. And very often, Cece would come up as the product that was recommended for a quiet pump. And so I'm very excited to get it installed. Not that I have the Rio on some plastic footing, and it's pretty quiet. So, but I am kind of curious to see how it compares, and I'm also curious to see if it makes a difference in my water line, because maybe my water line will come up a little bit. I'm hoping. Just one of the things I'm hoping, because my water line is right about here, right on the wood. And I've got about another 1.5 inches. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But thank you, Jay Wilson, if you catch this live stream. And I'll give you a quick update here on, you folks know we're doing that giveaway on the 29th. And I've never done a giveaway like this before. I think I might just have my daughter come in and put her finger on the chat. And I'll just sort of move it around, and she can tell me when to stop. I don't even know really how to do it, but all the super chatters, you're all going to go into a big hat. I'm gonna print out all your names. I'm gonna put it in a big hat, and we're gonna pick for the super chat, and then we're gonna give away. We have the $50 from Aquarium Co-op, 50 from Super Cichlids, 50 from Cunningham Cichlids, two $50 certificates. So two different prices from the Cichlid Shack. 50 from Beantown Aquatics, $100 shopping spree at Nolan's Aquariums, some food from Piscine, and $100, two $50 certificates from Elite Cichlids, the people who make these plants, these artificial plants, Elite Cichlids. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it, and I hope you win. So let's get into today's topic. You probably know that I'm kind of crazy about these African cichlids, and I had to come up with a topic on short notice, deciding at the absolute last minute that I was going to do something today. So I decided to go ahead and talk about why I really am crazy about these fish. And so what I did is I put together a video, just a short video for you. This is not going to be available. Well, it'll be available on the channel if you watch the live stream. But this is a special video for you folks on my love affair here with African cichlids. Let's take a look at it. You tell me what you think in the comments.
Well, with some cichlids, I mean, you have to love the size aspect. I mean, they really can put on some good size. This is about a 9-inch, 8-inch, 9-inch Fusco, currently living in the 100. And of course, this is like a 10-inch plus Venusis, who is still in the 150, pretty much the boss of that tank. And it's just... sometimes you just love having a good size fish, and of course this fellow's pushing, this Malawi trout's pushing about 10.5 inches. He's longer than the Venusis, and look at the difference in shape. And then of course we've got color. I mean, look at this blue neon, just a beautiful fish. You got yellow going on. You've got some beautiful egg spots, almost a yellow green. In the fins, and just a beautiful blue face. Look at this super red Empress going into almost a red, kind of a red pink. This fire hap is just beautiful. It's like a swimming gem. And here you also get an example of size. Just a very big Protomellus, as far as Protomellus go, cousin of a Taiwan reef and a tangerine tiger. And here's the imperial tiger, beautiful fish, and a protomelis deep water electra. Look at the colors and markings on these fish. Here's a red shoulder that doesn't get a lot of attention because he lives in the 60-gallon, which is sort of a Lethrinops tank now, and the home of the home of Photoshop, the fish I call Photoshop, which gets all of the attention in that tank. So again, I mean, examples of color and variety, and not one type of color or one type of pattern, but a variety of colors, a variety of patterns. And look at the rainbow colors on this red cap here.
Well, that ended a little bit abruptly, but let me give you the last little bit of it because my finger actually hit the keypad, hit the pad here. Let me see here. That's fun. Let's see today's topic.
Well, with some cichlids, I mean, you have to love the size aspect. I mean, they really can put on some good size. This is about a 9-inch, 8-inch, 9-inch Fusco, currently living in the 100, and of course this is like a 10-inch plus Venusis, who is still in the 150, pretty much the boss of that tank. And it's just sometimes you just love having a good size fish. And of course this fellow's pushing this Malawi trout's pushing about 10.5 inches. He's longer than the Venusis. And look at the difference in shape. And then of course we've got color. I mean, look at this blue neon. Just a beautiful fish. You got yellow going on. You've got some beautiful egg spots, almost a yellow green, in the fins, and just a beautiful blue face. Look at this super red Empress going into almost a red, kind of a red pink. This fire hap is just beautiful. It's like a swimming gem. And here you also get an example of size. Just a very big protomelis, as far as protomelis go. Cousin of a Taiwan reef and a tangerine tiger. And here's the imperial tiger, beautiful fish, and a protomelis deep water electra. Look at the colors and markings on these fish. Here's a red shoulder that doesn't get a lot of attention because he lives in the 60-gallon, which is sort of a Lethrinops tank now, and the home of the home of Photoshop, the fish I call Photoshop, which gets all of the attention in that tank. So again, I mean, examples of color and variety, and not one type of color or one type of pattern, but a variety of colors, a variety of patterns. And look at the rainbow colors on this red cap here, especially when the light catches them a certain way. It's just absolutely beautiful, the patterns in the fins, and just very, very impressive. Again, just some of the reasons why I love African cichlids. The variety, look at the yellow blaze and the blue cheeks on that guy there, that lemon jake. This is a Placidochromis jallow reef. Again, look at this, almost going into a blue, just a beautiful electric blue with, yellow. This sunshine is something I picked up from the Wonder of Cichlids. That's a gazelle, by the way, that blue guy. But that sunshine is a beautiful specimen. That face can sometimes go very deep metallic blue. And, of course, the Meduca white lips, another Placidochromis example. A different shape in the body, and just those pure white lips offsetting against a dark blue body. Just a beautiful, beautiful fish.
There you go. You got to see it 1 3/4 times. Moral of that story is don't rest your hand over the pad. Med, is that Medcode 74M? I've learned a lot from your desire to start this channel and Facebook page so we can all learn from each other. Thank you. Thank you for that. Very appreciated. And so, yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I mean, that's really why you have size. Some people like to have a big fish they can feed by hand and have that fish kind of grab their fingers sometimes, and the fun of that, have them stick their heads out of the water to grab the food. Some people like to have some people love the different in shapes. You have the torpedo type fish. Like your trouts. You have your rounder bodied fish. You have your oddballs like the eye biter who's hanging out in the corner here, hanging out in the back corner. So you have these very unusual shapes and sizes, coloration combinations that are just beautiful. And what's not to love, right? So let's take a look here what some of you are saying on the chat, and I'm going to take some of your questions, and we will go from there. And one of you was asking about the name of that Alonakara that appears when Ben shows the subscribe button. Brown body. Okay, what you're referring to, I'm pretty sure what you're referring to on that. Let's see here. The two fish that are on there is the blue neon in the foreground. You just see the face of the blue neon, right, the far one. That guy right there, that's the blue neon. And this one here was a very special fish that passed away, I think from old age. It was a ruby red peacock. And just a gorgeous fish. I will be getting another ruby red at some point. And anyway, those are the two fish on the subscribe button. I hope that answers your question. And let's get into some more of the chat here. Yeah, I think I got every super chat, and yeah, sometimes sometimes Elflower, the species, the scientific name, it's a little bit unusual. And when I first started working with African cichlids, keeping African cichlids, it was a little bit daunting for me. It was almost a little bit intimidating. I didn't really know the names, and someone would say something, like some scientific name of some fish, hey, you're putting too many nimbochromas together, or what? Nimbochromas? What do you mean, And I just called him a giraffe. He was just, all I knew him as was a giraffe. So over time, you start to get a little bit more comfortable with that. You start to get more familiar. But every time I go to make a video, I have to Google and cross-check just to make sure I get it right. I don't have, and also the spelling, because the spelling is very unusual. And, so it's something I have to go in and just really make sure that I'm not giving you a wrong name for a fish, because I hate when that happens. So, Jason Mercado, I would love show pictures of my tank. I have about 33-inch fish that look beautiful. Well, Jason, just start a YouTube channel. And even if you just share it, if you don't want to be public, you can share it with friends. You can have the videos as unlisted. And if you provide the link to friends, they can watch the videos, even though they're technically unlisted. And start a YouTube channel. I've told people before, start a YouTube channel, whether you're going to be monetizing it or making it, or have it, you can just use it as an archive for your own videos. I mean, YouTube is giving you this unbelievable storage space. So take some videos, upload them, whether you make them public or not, that's up to you. Don't worry about the quality, especially in the beginning. Go back to some of my first videos. It's like a horror show. Don't worry about the quality, and upload some videos. And I'll tell you something, 3 or 4 years from now, you're going to thank me, because you're going to go back and look at those videos and go, wow, that fish has really changed, or boy, I hate that that fish passed away. Look how beautiful he was. You're going to have this video archive that's being, that's actually being kept at no cost to you up on YouTube. So start a channel. And whether you decide to share it or make it big or just keep it small, that's really your call. But I highly recommend you use YouTube's offer to let you store video at their webpage and, at their site. Why not, right? Let's see here. Mike, sorry about that blue neon. And bloat is nasty, and it's very rare that you hear of somebody who has brought a fish back from bloat. It's just kind of a bad thing. And the Jays are playing the Phillies. All right. My son would normally be at the AAA or he would be with batter development in the minor leagues. But because of all the COVID stuff, he's been spending a lot of time at the main stadium, and he's not complaining. He's able to work with the big dogs. So that's been a one plus point, even though for the most part the baseball season has been a little bit crazy for reasons that you're aware of. And Eddie Mendoza, I've been watching all your videos on the Fluval FX. I think, let's see here. Stream jumped on me. Let me see if I can find that again. Eddie Mendoza, where'd you go? I'm taking the plunge into finally buying one. The videos have been great. Now, Eddie, I'm glad you love those videos. Now, if you go to some place like PetSmart and you belong to their points program, I think it's called Treats. And if then they have a sale, and then if you're a Treats member, they can also provide you sometimes with a coupon. I've heard of people walking out with FX6s for $290, $275, because they're members of the Treats program at PetSmart. And anyway, something to consider. And why not, right? And let's see here. It's a bit of a battleship of a canister filter, because it pushes so much water, and that creates a lot of, a canister that's pushing 200 gallons an hour compared to one that's pushing 700 gallons an hour, or 800, 900, 500, 2-3 times the amount of water going through, you're going to have more wear and tear. So I tell people when they buy a Fluval to pick up a couple extra valves just to have them, and they're not cheap, but if you need one, you really need one. They're kind of like a parachute, when you need one, you really need one. And so anyway, just something to think about. If you're watching my videos, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm glad you're making that plunge. It looks like a couple of folks came in with some super chats. Let's see. Don't want to miss them. Hey, R. Baglio comes in with $5. Hey, R. Baglio, thank you so much, my friend. Gary Zacharin? Gary Zacharin. Did I butcher your name? I'm sorry, but thank you so much for that. And hey, Ben, thanks for sharing the knowledge. Keep up the good work. My pleasure, my friend. I will. And thank you for supporting the channel in all the ways that you do. And I really appreciate that. Hey, KG, glad you can make it, Kevin. I appreciate that. And you can help out with with some of the moderator duties. And Gary Robinson at PetSmart. Yeah, Yeah, PetSmart. They have this program called Treats, and if you remember, they send you discount coupons sometimes, and you can apply. Like let's say they send you a 25% a one-time coupon. You can apply it to things that are on sale. So if they have the canister on sale for $300 instead of $350 or $295, you apply that to that. You save big bucks. And Poe Seaweed Fish are teaching me patience. That's probably the most important word that we can have in fish keeping, patience, whether it comes to cycling a tank, to fish growing out, to fish, coloring up. It's often the area that people set themselves up for a problem because they lose their patience. So patience is that's one of the top key words. That and knowledge, patience and knowledge. All right. And Ryan just started this hobby, have 4 tanks, been following a lot of your advice. Thank you, Ryan. I hope I gave you good advice, and good luck in the hobby. Welcome to if it's cichlids, welcome to the cichlid keepers. I can assure you one thing about cichlids. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in that little video. One of the things I like about them is there's never a dull moment. There's always something. I had everything kind of calmed down last week. Had to move the Fusco to the 100, right? And so there's always something. So if you're looking for fish that you can just sort of entirely chill and not really worry much, set up a planted tank with a lot of plants and some neons and stuff like that, and the plants will do a lot of the filtration for you, and get some snails. They'll do some of the cleaning for you, and put a couple sponge filters in there. And but if you want something that's going to keep you on your toes and that you've got to be on top of, and especially if you're stocking heavily because you want to spread out aggression, so you have to be on top of your maintenance schedule, or you can have your ammonias can go crazy, then cichlids are for you. Gary, it looks like Gary came in. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for that. $4.99, very appreciated. The support of the channel is very appreciated. So I am open for questions. Go ahead and ask away. Hey, Remco. Remco, throw some money into the pot. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Very nice of you to support the channel. Any questions? Any questions you have for me, go ahead and ask them. They don't have to be part of the super chat. Just go ahead and ask away. And I am scrolling the super chat. Thank you to this girl and her fish for asking for more likes. I appreciate that. Back up. Candy couldn't make it tonight. Candy was very, very busy. We talked about it, and she couldn't make it. But we have Kevin here doing the moderator duties, and GP was going to be here, but I believe he's probably working, and so he missed me showing his picture early on. So hey, Doug, thank you, Doug, for that, and thank you, Peter. I appreciate any amount, Peter. You know what? That's a good question, Kevin. I had to do an emergency 911 procedure on the sand diver, and where is he? He's probably off camera somewhere. Oh, he's hiding in the corner somewhere. Anyway. The sand diver, oh, there he is. It's over in the far corner. You can't see him. The sand diver got a piece, the very end piece of one of these, like this, and and he took it in his mouth in a way that he couldn't spit it out, and he was holding his mouth wide open and shaking his head violently left and right, and then swimming around and then doing it again. And so something was very, very wrong. So I caught him and I pulled him out and I used some tweezers and I pulled it out. So what I learned from that, Kevin, was when I see something drifting around the tank, I've got to grab it real quick. I can't just look at it and go, "Oh, a piece broke off," and just sort of ignore it. I got to realize that they're gonna put it in their mouth. They're gonna test it. I mean, that's how these fish operate. I mean, they taste everything, and so at some point it's going to get tested. And in his case, it went in the wrong way, and if it had gone the other way, he might have been able to spit it out, but it was in like a fish hook. So the more he tried to spit it out, the more it would, get stuck. And so I had to give just one quick tug, and I got it out. And he's been great ever since, doing his thing. And here he is. Hey, buddy. He actually has colored down. I've had several fish color down when I moved him from the 100 to here. The Super Red Empress did not color down. The Gar continues to have good color. Electric Blue never lost color. The Deepwater looks good. The Hawk colored down, and the Trout colored down when I brought him over. I don't know why. And some people even thought at one point they might be females. But they're not females. I saw them in the 100 with great color. So I know they're not females. Peter comes in again. And thank you, Peter. And Misael Santos comes in. How's it going? It's going well, Misael. Thank you so much for that. Very appreciated. And let's see. MedCow 74M, I've done it both ways. I've medicated the tank and I've medicated the food. If you have something going on in the gut of the fish, like parasites, worms, something that's certainly internal. Now, of course, you can make a case that most illnesses have an internal side to them, but then yes, you should probably use medicated food, or maybe even a combination. Just be sure to check with the people providing you with the food if you can combine. Some medications should not be combined. Corey over at the Aquarium Co-op talks about medications that are okay in combination. He's done a lot of learning and education on that. But when I had that bout with Colomaris, I had to use both the Fritz antibiotic and antibiotic-treated flakes that I picked up on eBay. So I was feeding him, and I was medicating the tank. So I gave it. It was a very vicious disease, and so I attacked it very, very viciously. So I would say if it's something internal you're trying to go after, for sure use a medicated food. Otherwise, you're probably okay treating the tank. Again, if you're going to treat the tank and it's something that hasn't contaminated the entire tank, pull them out, put them in a quarantine tank. Otherwise, you're going to spend a fortune on medication. It is not cheap. I don't suggest that you waste your money on medications. I've had horrible luck. This is just me. Some people like it. I've had horrible luck with your PimaFix, the PimaFix type products. They didn't do anything for me. I had to go right to the right kind of antibiotic. Now, in some countries, you can't even get the antibiotics anymore. I believe in the UK, Australia, places like that, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't even get antibiotics for your fish. So you have to go either to some kind of a special vet. I don't know what you do, take your fish into the vet, I don't know. Or you have to use salt treatments and hope that salt unblocks constipation or strengthens the slime coat, so it's become almost impossible to get antibiotics. That could be happening here. It might be a good idea for you to pick up a few antibiotics, watch the expiration dates, maybe keep them refrigerated, and just in preparation, because I can pretty much assure you that difficulty of getting your hands on antibiotics for fish is coming to the United States. And hey, Francie comes in strong. And it's iced tea and cichlids. Yes, that counts. I was thinking about cichlids and suds, and but I don't know. Don't know if I want to drink on air since this is. I do encourage children to watch the videos. Have a cigarette and a beer. You know? Hey kids, you know, Kinko the clown. You know, so anyway, yeah, iced tea counts. Iced tea is good, and I thank you, Francie, for that. That's very kind of you. Very, very appreciated. And somebody mentioned Los Tres Amigos, post Siwi. Yes, the Tres Amigos, for those of you that don't know, Los Tres Amigos are the three clown loaches that are in my 100-gallon. I've had them for probably going on 5 years. They have been living in harmony with African cichlids. For those of you that don't know, and you better be aware of this if you ever net one of them, they have barbs. Clown loaches have barbs, and these barbs are very sharp. I believe they're on the sides of the on their sides of the mouths. They stick out, and whenever a cichlid tries to mess with one, you'll notice that they put their snout, their face, right next to that cichlid, and that cichlid, doesn't matter how big he is, he heads for the hills. They want nothing to do with those clown loaches. The clown loaches will feed from the top. Don't worry about getting food to them. They will go to the top and attack the food. They'll feed from the middle. They'll feed from the bottom. They're very aggressive when it comes to eating. They like protein in their diet. Now, people have ragged on me about, hey, listen, that's a fish that would rather be in a more neutral pH. I get it. Maybe they're not growing as fast as they would. Maybe their likelihood of spawning is a little bit less because they're not an ideal pH. They're beautiful. They're active. They eat. I don't think they're. I think they've adapted. I think they've actually adapted to it. And I was very close a couple times to giving them away. And I know another fish keeper, Adam C., one of my favorites on YouTube. Check out his channel, Adam C. I think he had it. I think he got tired of hearing about it from people. He probably just gave them away. But anyway, I love them. They add a very different shape and color pattern to the tank, and it often is the fish that when people walk into the living room and see the tank, they go, "Wow, what are those three guys with the stripes?" You know, they're very comical. They will lay on their sides, and you'll think they're dead. Sometimes they'll even be upside down like a puppy. You know, they'll sleep completely upside down. They're just kind of comical that way, and they really are clowns. Really are clown loaches. So anyway, I decided to hold on to them, to keep them, and that's what she means by the Los Tres Amigos. And T-Bone says you can get some antibiotics in Australia, but not much. There you go. Maybe it's the UK. Someone was talking to me the other day. Maybe they were in the UK talking about how you have to go to a special kind of vet. I mean, who's going to take a fish to I mean, I guess if you had a $1,000 marine exotic fish, you'd probably maybe go to a marine biology veterinarian or something and try and get some meds. I don't know. But are you going to take a goldfish? Probably not. Probably not. Let's see here. Remco, yeah, these clown loaches, they'll eat anything. They attack the algae. When I have the algae scrubber opened up, they go after it like crazy. I put pellets in there. I've dropped krill in there, frozen krill. They go nuts on frozen krill. They go after flake food. And I'll tell you something else about clown loaches. And I hope this doesn't sound cruel because it's not intended to be cruel. But you folks remember the story about how they used to keep canaries in mines because if there was a gas leak that wasn't detected by the miners, the canary would die. And that would give the miners enough time to get out because by the time the miners knew something was wrong, it was too late. They would die. So your loaches will show something like ick first, and they'll show it way before the other fish. I think because they're considered a scaleless fish, they have they're very sensitive, And so in the past, I've had one of the loaches show one or two those little salt flakes that are ick. Treat the tank instantly. It stops immediately, never makes it to the fish. So they're in there also as a sort of as a warning. They're sort of a first line of defense against any kind of an external parasite or disease. 741 Aquatics, thank you so much for that. And very, very cool. Hey, Cat Sailor, you're here now. That's what matters. And any other, yeah, Remco, that's right. They do make a sound, and sometimes sometimes I would think something was hitting against the side of the tank. And it was the clown loaches making that funny noise they make sometimes. And almost looks like somebody was banging I thought somebody was banging a loose heater or something against the back of the tank. So any other questions, go ahead and ask them now, and I will go ahead and pick them up. Did I miss any super chats? If I missed a super chat, I'm sorry. And also if I missed any questions while talking, I apologize. Sometimes I do miss one or two. Doesn't mean you're not important. And Aquarium Treasures says, hi, Aquarium Treasures. Hi to you, my friend. It's you asked that a little while ago. Paul Alvarez, how about you send me his sticker? Love this channel. Paul, send me your address, and maybe I will. Send me your address to ben.o.cichlid@gmail.com and tell me that you were a runner-up on the sticker contest. All right. And Cat Sailor comes in with a super chat. Thank you, Cat. Very appreciated. I really appreciate you folks doing that. And any more questions here? What's the fastest way to make them grow? Mark G is asking, what's the fastest way to make them grow? Message retracted? Well, I was going to say just clean water, stay on your maintenance, reduce stress, right? Keep the temperature right, the water in good shape, feed them good quality food, never skip your water changes. We do sometimes, right? But really keep your maintenance in, and you'll get the best growth. And sometimes if you have a very crowded tank, and maybe this is related to hormones, maybe it's a wives' tale, but I've heard that if you have a very heavily stocked tank, that growth can be inhibited a little bit. Not sure if that's the case. This living stone eye right there, that big brute, was about a half inch about a year ago. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Big head. This guy, I got him already grown. And this trout already had some good size when I picked him up from the Wonder of Cichlids. This guy was about an inch when I got him. This guy isn't growing much. He's grown a little bit since I picked him up from a local store. It's funny. You also have genetics. I mean, sometimes you can beat yourself up thinking, how come my fish are not growing? And you might just have a fish that is genetically predisposed to being a runt. Or you might have a freak. I think this living stone eye, that living stone eye is the brother of the other two living stone eye in here, and he is probably twice the weight, twice the size. So you can have a freak fish the other way that grows the other way as well. That living stone eye is one of the fish that colored down. He had blue and green in the face, and he colored down when he came over to the 100. And I think that's an intimidation. Because of intimidation, subdominance, he doesn't want to piss off Vinny. You see Vinny back there? Would you want to piss off an 11-inch Venusus? If I was in there and I was that big, I wouldn't want to piss him off. I want to stay out of his way. He's the shot caller in this aquarium. Let me see. Trip Lev Vibes Radio. Any info on what food is best for peacock bass? You know, I haven't grown out peacock bass, and videos I've seen, like Corey Hecker had some, and very heavy on the protein. And I think sometimes you even go to the store and buy squid and cut it up and drop squid right in the tank, you know, like heavy protein. But I'm just not a peacock bass guy, but I hope to become someday because I love them. I think they're beautiful. Corey Hecker had a thing called a azul, A-Z-U, a blue bass. It was absolutely gorgeous. Check out his channel, Corey Hecker. Let's see him. Richard, I can send you a sticker too, Richard. That's okay. And I don't care wherever you are in the world, it doesn't cost. Just a couple bucks to send stuff to the UK or Australia. So, you know, if you want a sticker, just let me know. And if you don't want it, that's okay too. If you, since you're being so nice, Richard, if you'd rather have a little Mabuna cave, if you want a cave, I'll send you a cave. Send me your address, Richard. I've got a whole box of these cichlid caves from underwater galleries. So send me your address. I'll send you a cave. And let me know how big your fish are. Because they come this big, and they come like, you know, they come in different sizes. And there you go. All right. So it looks like we're getting close to the hour. I want to thank all of you that have joined me at this unusual time and unusual day. I'm not going to be around on Saturday. I'm going to be in Tennessee. And so no live stream on Saturday. I'll try and get another video out if I can, just to kind of keep the flow going. You know, otherwise the next time you'll see me will be there'll be a video Thursday for sure, and then possibly one on the weekend and one for sure on this coming Tuesday. And thank you everybody for tuning in. You are the best. I say it to my family all the time. I've got the best fish family on YouTube. You folks are great. You're decent. You respect each other. You get into great conversations. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and end off, and you folks can carry on the conversation for a little bit while the final logo is playing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the super chats, and thank you to my moderators. You are the best. Bye-bye.